In this video, I'm going to talk about my boyfriend, how I met him, and I also want to share some ideas that I hope you will find helpful. Hi, my darlings. Welcome to Be Strong and Love Yourself, a channel for very strong people. I'm Dasha Bisali, and I created this channel to share information that I find useful to be happy, with the hope that it will help you too. English is not my first language, so sometimes I make mistakes. I apologize for that. And also, my videos are not scripted, so sometimes they can be not professional. I mean, all the times they are not professional. But I really hope that the information that I'm sharing on my channel can help you to find ideas for your life and improve it. And today I will share with you a reason why I wanted to have a boyfriend in the past. Then I will talk about cleaning your own mess that we can have in mind. I will talk about how I met my boyfriend, why I wanted to be single at the time I met him, and why I changed my mind. So it's interesting in life. In some point, I really wanted to have a boyfriend. When I met him, I actually wanted to be single. I think that's how life is. Life knows better what we need, and it gives us whatever we need at the right time. I decided to talk about it because when I was single and I really wanted to have a boyfriend, I was so hopeless, I was desperate, and I really thought that I will never ever find a boyfriend. So I think most of my messages will be for someone who lost the hope and thinks that, oh, I will stay alone forever. You never know when you will meet your partner. It can happen any moment. So I hope that my story will inspire you and will help you not to be too upset about being single at this moment. The reason why I didn't want to be single was because I always had disturbance in my mind and anxiety. And when I used to have a boyfriend in the past, I felt better in his presence. And it's like almost like a drug. When you're alone, you feel nervous and you feel anxiety. Then when you're with the man that you like, and you both are in a good mood, considering you're not fighting, I felt like my mind was so calm and I didn't have any disturbance. It was like release of all negativity. So I always was looking for this peace in my mind, and I thought that the boyfriend would be someone who will help me to find this peace. And I want to show you this notebook that I created about a year ago. I started it in January 2021. That just to illustrate how much I wanted to have a boyfriend. So this notebook I started in January, as I said, and I was writing it for 6 months every single night. And it was messages for my future boyfriend. So I really wanted to have a boyfriend, and I tried to talk to him to inspire him, even though I didn't have them. I didn't have him at that time. And again, it's just to show you my desires. Because if you don't want to have a boyfriend, you wouldn't spend so much time to send messages to him, to future boyfriend. I think it's very cute, by the way. And coming to my next point is clean your own messes. That I realized that another person will not help me to get rid of my disturbance. And I actually realized that when I met a wrong person. And I never liked dating apps. It's just not for me. I know that some people found their partners in there, and I'm not saying that dating apps are bad in general, but they are not good for me. It's just not my thing, and I always knew it. And for some reason, I decided to try it, and it worked out. It was so bad. I met the wrong person. I hurt myself, and I didn't follow my values, and I felt extremely horrible after this experience. But it helped me to realize that instead of looking for a boyfriend and to get rid of this disturbance in my head, I need to work on myself and on my mind and clean it up so I can create peace within myself by myself. And I kind of knew it, but this wrong relationships that I had before I met my boyfriend helped me to understand that I need to create peace by myself. I shouldn't rely on another person. And another person will never make you happy. I'm 100% sure. My boyfriend is super kind, super nice. He loves to listen to me and he cares about me a lot. And if I have some concerns, I can share with him. But even though he's so caring and loving, I still have my worries, and big part of my worries is worries about him. So in the past, I just worried about myself. When you're in relationships, you also need to worry about the person you love. And being an anxious person, I just became more worried. But the fact that I worked on my math and I work on my mind helps me a lot. So try to work on your math and not expect other person to do it for you. Now I want to share with you the story how we met. And, I met Justin, my boyfriend, by the lake when it was sunrise. And I like to walk during sunrise every morning. And when I met him, I didn't want to be in relationships. I wanted to be single. I've been hurt so much. This kind of why I wanted to be single part. And I didn't want to be hurt again. Even though I liked Justin from the beginning, I thought he was very interesting and unique, not like everyone else. I was like, no, I don't want to go through this again. He probably is player. I thought that he had a lot of girls, and I just didn't want to involve myself in anything that could cause me pain. I agreed to be friends with him, but I didn't want to be in relationships at all because I was scared and I wanted to avoid this pain that I had in the past in relationships. And now coming to my next point is why did I change my mind? Because when we got a little bit closer while we were friends, I felt like I mean something to this person. And for me, meaning is the most important thing in life. And when you feel like you can improve life of another person, it gives you a lot of meaning. When you think that with me this person can have a better life, and this is what how I felt with Justin, I it just was so big for me, and it kind of was overriding all the fears that I had. And I want to read a quote from Friedrich Nietzsche. You probably heard this very famous quote. He said, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow." And Justin, he gave me this why. So in the past, when I was by myself, it's very simple life to be single, to be honest. I had my routine. I have a nice job. I don't need too many things. I live in a beautiful place, and I actually could live a very stressless life by myself. But then I felt like I had lack of meaning, and I felt like I wasn't using my potential as a girlfriend. And I do believe that I can be a very nice girlfriend and very good wife. So I felt bad that I wasn't using this part of my potential. So this quote kind of helped me also to realize that I can have fears, but I will overcome them because I have some meaning. And I also want to read a quote by Viktor Frankl, who was in concentration camp, um, and he was Jewish, and he was during World War One. Nazi was holding him, and a lot of other people, Jewish people, and a lot of people around him died. But he was writing that people who survived because they had meaning in life, because they loved someone and they wanted to be with this person they loved. And he says, ultimately, man should not ask what the meaning of his life is, but rather must recognize that it is he who is asked. And I felt like when I met my boyfriend, at some point I felt like I've been asked to have this meaning, not by him, but by life itself. And not because I'm saying that I'm so important, but just because this is the way I felt and the way I feel right now. And I also want to read a couple of quotes about relationships that I think from Tony Robbins that I think are also important. And I think they also kind of help me to start these relationships, not to be scared. One of them is, love is the only must in my life, everything else is a should. And I think to have love in your life and to have a partner that you love and care about is huge. Yes, maybe being single for me would be less stressful. Sometimes I get very stressed when I'm in relationships, even again with nicest boyfriend ever. But on other hand, love that I have is so big that it overcomes all the difficulties. And the last quote from Tony Robbins, I think is very important. The only way a relationship will last is if you see your relationship as a place that you go to give and not a place that you go to take. I think we can give only if we work on ourselves. So if you know how to help yourself, how to have enough energy and capacity to take care of your partner, then, and if you don't really look for something from him or her, it will last. I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask for help from your partner. You know, when I am upset, I just come to Jess and I tell him I'm upset, I'm tired. Sometimes I cry and he tries to understand what's going on with me, and then I'm like, well, I'm just tired. So I always share with when I suffer, and I will talk about it in another video about suffering in relationships. But at the same time, it's not like I'm expecting something from him. I came to this relationships because I wanted to give, and I think my boyfriend, he knows it, and he wants to give in return. He doesn't ask for anything, and he likes to take care of me. This is the things that I wanted to share today, and now I will try to sum up. I apologize if this video was too long, but I really again wanted to share my experience because it might help someone who doesn't believe in love anymore. And I think it's so important to believe in love. And I've been there. I didn't think, again, I will repeat myself, I thought I would stay single forever. And now I have so much love, and it's so amazing the things that my boyfriend did for me, and his family. I'm so extremely thankful. It's like in a fairy tale. His parents are so kind to me. I don't want to go too much into details of my relationships. I'm not ready for that. I just want to say that from the person who didn't believe in that love exists and that I will ever meet my partner, I turned into the person who experiencing the best love ever. And I hope that my story will help you to believe and not to focus too much on looking for a partner, but more like working on your own peace. And if you meet someone, don't be rushed, and also don't waste your time on someone who doesn't value you, because at some point you will find someone who does value you, and this will be the right person. And again, to sum up, I really wanted to have a boyfriend, and when I wanted to have a boyfriend, I couldn't find one. It was all wrong, and the way I was looking for a boyfriend was not good. Then I tried to clean my own mess, and I met my boyfriend. I didn't rush it. I tried I was afraid of relationships, and we started being friends. And then, meaning that he gave me by valuing me, helped me to overcome my fears and start relationships that made my life much better than in the past. Again, I still have worries, and if you ask my boyfriend, he probably doesn't like, oh my god, Dasha cries almost every day. But it's not a bad thing. It's just part of life. that we have worries, but there is always something bigger than that. And I, I am the way I am. I'm anxious person, but I'm extremely happy now. I also am very, very, very grateful, and I'm grateful that God sent me my boyfriend, and I'm also grateful for his kindness, his family kindness, and for this meaning that now I have in life. And again, I hope that if you're single right now and really want to meet someone, please believe in love and remember that love is a huge part of life. And if you meet it, be very, very thankful for it and never take it for granted. But always take care of yourself. It's a very important part. If you don't have capacity to love, it will be very hard to be in relationships. And in order to have this capacity to love, you need to take care of yourself. So be strong and love yourself. Love wins always.